You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're live on Instagram. It's Wellness Wednesdays with Claudine Cooper, ClaudineCooper.com. Claudine is back in the studio. I think she just came back from dropping off her child in college. She got some sun.
Yeah.
You can check it out on Instagram Live. Claudine, it's good to see you. How you feeling?
Good to see you too, Mo. I'm always happy to be back here in studio with you. How's everything been going with you?
Everything is just fine, with the exception of Mark Ronner. He's been a real troublemaker. I'm trying to get rid of him, and I can't get rid of him. It's like he's a wart. He won't go away.
Here he comes.
Oh, here he comes.
That sounded rather unkind.
No, I would never say anything.
We love you, Mark.
I was just sitting here minding my own business, and then I hear this full frontal assault. Yeah, what have I done to you? Let's just focus on the nice exercise lady, please.
I love how he calls me the nice exercise lady.
You haven't got a name yet.
When in fact, some people say I'm the mean exercise lady.
Even better.
Aren't exercise people usually mean because they're pushing you through boundaries, or at least self-imposed boundaries?
We have to be firm. One person told me that people who work in fitness are intense. We are intense because we believe in what we're pushing. We're pushing good health. We're pushing movement. We're trying to get people to live their healthiest and best lives. So yes, it can come across as mean.
Part of the reason why I brought you here today, as far as pushing people, we may find a way to work out to stay active in different ways. It may depend on our physical limitations, which may be real sometimes. It may have to do with our age or injuries sustained over the years.
Pregnancy.
That too.
Yes.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but yes. But something else I've been hearing about more and more, water aerobics. I have, on occasion throughout life, worked out in a pool. I don't have a pool, but the times I had one accessible to me, it was really, really helpful. Why is it so helpful?
Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, did you see my Instagram post where we had a whole party dedicated to water aerobics?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been teaching water aerobics, as my children would say, since the 1900s, okay? That means anything below the year 2000 is considered the 1900s, just in case you didn't know that.
Got it.
And so one of the things about water aerobics is that if you are injured, if you are pregnant, if you have limited mobility, the water actually sort of protects you from getting re-injured. It's almost like the buoyancy of the water prevents you from having that impact that you would have if you were running outside. Just imagine you're on vacation, you're at your pool, you're running in the pool back and forth. Now, how you run in the pool is different than how you would run outside. The water it's actually a resistant, but the impact is zero. Get what I'm saying?
I get it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Claudine Cooper, our regular health and wellness expert on this Wellness Wednesday. And also we're on Instagram Live at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMokelly. If you want to take a gander at Claudine Cooper. Well, how is it that we should go about this? Because like I said, not all of us may have access to that pool. Some of us may or may not have that gym membership, which has that pool. And I don't think you're expecting us to, play around in the bathtub or the shower.
Listen, pools are here in LA, Southern California. Pools are pretty accessible here. I mean, answer this. Do you have a friend with a pool?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Most of us have at least one friend with a pool. Does that mean you can just crash your friend's pool and do some water aerobics?
Usually not,
No.
Not if we're going to stay friends.
They're like, why are you in my pool at 7 a.m.? No. Listen, here's the thing. There are public pools. There are private pools. There are community pools. I personally live in a gated community. We have a community pool. My gym that I work at, Iconics Fitness in Inglewood, is building a rooftop pool so that we can do lap swimming and water aerobics.
That's cool.
Oh, it's going to be bomb. It's going to be real
A
bomb.
rooftop pool?
Don't get me started. Overlooking the SoFi Stadium and the Intuit Dome.
Do you know anyone over there who might be able to hook me up?
I know this girl named Claudine. But, the membership is still reasonable. And I do have to say reasonable is a subjective term, right? But in gym memberships, there are levels. And for most people who want to explore the water aerobics line of fitness, there are gyms that range in monthly dues from about $50 a month to about $300 a month. So I don't like to assume what people can and can't afford, but I've worked in so many gyms of different levels that I know there's a level for everyone.
When did you find, discover, realize the benefits of water aerobics or just water training?
Okay, this is a funny story. So I had just had my first daughter, and this was 20 years ago, and I wanted to pick up a couple classes at the gym. I'd always taught classes, and I was ready to get back into the swing of things. So I go to the gym that was nearest to my house, and they had a pool. I don't know if you remember. It was called the Magic Johnson 24-hour
Power Fitness. Yes, I do. On Slauson, yep.
And they had just opened, and I went in and I asked Christine if I could get a job, and she said yes. And she said, we have immediate openings for water aerobics. And I got to be honest with you, when I pictured water aerobics, what I pictured in my mind was, bluish hair, the swimsuit.
You mean older,
I mean, you said
and really older folks. We're talking people 125. We're not talking about anyone who's listening right now.
Not one person who's listening. Right. You guys are all young at heart. Now, here's the thing. I didn't realize that water aerobics is actually really great for people who are recovering from any kind of injury, surgery. You don't have to be, quote unquote, an active older adult. You can be our age and benefit from pool aerobics.
That's so nice. You said I'm under 50. That's nice of you.
Well, I'm under 50 for now.
Now you took it back. You said our age. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm back to under 50. You said no, you're not.
Not you. But anyways, when I got into the water area of that particular gym, I saw people of all ages, all ethnicities. And the funniest thing, the woman who was teaching it, her music was just the same music that I use in my classes. So I was like, wait, water aerobics is a party in the pool? Ha! Sign me up. Sign me up. So basically what I did, I transferred my low impact out of the water aerobics moves into the water. And then I took an Aqua Fit certification because you also have to be able to save a life. Funny story. One time when I was teaching, and it's not funny actually, but I was teaching water aerobics going back to how we said people are intense that are in fitness. And someone just veered off. Like she just started floating in the water. Well, it turned out she was having a stroke.
Oh my goodness.
But wait, here's my reaction as an intense fitness professional. I say, excuse me, everyone needs to be over here doing the movements, not knowing that she was having a health challenge at that moment. Luckily, the paramedics were working out on the second floor, came down.
Oh my.
She recovered fully.
Well, this is where I usually say that's the kind of God we serve. But that's just me.
No,
that's me.
I believe. I've seen enough to believe. Yes.
If you're just tuning in, my guest right now in studio is Claudine Cooper, our regular commentator for Wellness Wednesdays. In fact, we are Instagram live at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMoKelly. We'll have more with Claudine in just a moment. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, including Instagram live at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMoKelly. Our guest in studio is our regular Wellness Wednesday commentator, Claudine Cooper. Of course, you can find her at ClaudineCooper.com, her website. Last segment, we were talking about the benefits of water aerobics. And I have to ask you this because, Claudine, we have these benchmarks during the year. Of course, you have the New Year's resolution. And now we talked about when people start dropping off.
Yes.
And why don't you turn that mic there so people can see your face, because we are on the Instagram Live. There we go.
Sorry, can you see me now?
Yeah, there we go. But also, we're coming to the end of summer.
Yeah.
And so the motivation for that summer body or whatever it may be falling by the wayside. In your professional history, what do you usually see between now and the end of the year?
In my professional history, what I see is people falling off. That's what I see. Now, here's the thing, though. This is Los Angeles, California. This is Southern California. We actually never really go into hibernation mode like the rest of the world. So attaining a summer body, isn't it kind of always
all year
summer?
round? Yeah.
So I guess the way I see it is, instead of working out towards a summer body or a New Year's resolution or your 50th birthday or whatever it may be, why not look at it more like a lifestyle shift? In other words, identify why you want to work out, right? And there's going to be people who are like, well, girl, I want to work out because I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay. But once you lose the 20 pounds, what happens next?
Speak on it.
Because if you lose the 20 pounds, you go to the gym and you attain that goal, then what? You stop going to the gym, and then you end up having to go back to the same goal after you regain that 20 pounds again. So my thoughts are, adopt a lifestyle that you can manage instead of going in. This is what I notice. I'm going to just be honest with you, okay? And I'm not trying to be intense, like I said in the beginning of this segment, but I've noticed that what people do is they go balls to the wall, right? Okay, I'm going to work out every day. No, I'm going to work out twice a day. I'm going to eat vegan. I'm going to not drink any alcohol. And
slow down now. Slow down.
I got crazy there for a second. Whoa.
So one step at a time.
But here's the thing. What if you did like a more moderate approach that would have a long-lasting effect that would be easier to maintain and sustain?
Slow and steady
wins the race. So the way I see it, instead of doing a major food overhaul, why not just start incorporating more vegetables? You don't have to go vegan, but how about we eat more kale? I have a kale salad in the car right now. How about we eat more sweet potatoes or broccoli? And then you can factor those things into your average meals, right? You're not missing out on, let's just say, wings, because I know people love wings, right?
We talk about this all the time. I have a pizza weakness.
I have a pizza weakness myself.
How do you deal with your weakness?
I eat a slice of pizza and a salad on the side.
Come on now.
But I also am not big on deprivation, because I believe that deprivation leads to binge.
Say that again, because I didn't hear you the first time.
I believe that deprivation leads to binge eating, binge drinking, binge sweets, binge whatever it might be. And if you say, hey, I'm going to go hard in the gym, I'm going to do all these things, how about maybe 30 to 60 minutes? See how that goes for you. I'll tell you what happened last week. A woman came in with her 6-month-old son, and our kids club at the gym was closed at the time. She gets to the front desk. She's got the 6-month-old right here, right? And she goes, is the kids club open? And I said, it's actually not. She's like, I just wanted to do 45 minutes on the treadmill. I said, give me the baby. Now, this is what is really sweet about working in a small business, which is what Iconics Fitness. It's a small business. It's not a chain. It's not big box gym. So I took the baby and I held her baby for 45 minutes while she got her cardio in. And these are the small things that as a mother, you can relate to. You asked me how I got started with water aerobics. I was a new mom and I just wanted to get 60 minutes of exercise in. And I wanted to do it by teaching a class. And I started teaching water aerobics. And now to this day, I still have quite a big following of people who are waiting for a pool so that we can do water aerobics.
That's a beautiful thing. And I look at this as part of your ministry in which you get to reach people, touch people, change their lives, change their circumstances. Now, I know you took like a 1 month hiatus as far as your online free community workouts and also your Saturday community workouts. Are you back yet?
I'm almost back. Yay. September 7th, which is Saturday, we start back with the free outdoor community workouts at Hollywood Park in Inglewood. Parking's free. The workout's free. The farmer's market is not free, but it's going on at the same time. So you can go get your kale. You can go get your broccoli. Now, I do still do my virtual workouts every Friday, and those have not been on hiatus. So everything's going business as usual, but we're back on Saturdays.
And they can reach you where on social media?
My handle on all things is Fit with 3. That means I'm fit with 3 kids. Fit with 3. FITWIT, the
Actually,
number 3.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I know a lot of people don't know that, but that's where it came from. Somebody said, "What if you have a 4th kid?" I'm like, I'm not.
Claudine said, "I'm done. Don't wish that on
done.
me."
No, I'm all the way. I don't worry about somebody wishing. I took matters into my own hands.
Oh, you're sharing something tonight.
Tonight. So yeah, no, we're still doing the virtual workouts. We're starting back with the community workouts outside. So I'm excited because the weather is going to cool down over the next 3 months. It's going to be really enjoyable to be outside with friends, with neighbors, with community members.
Claudine Cooper, ClaudineCooper.com. It is always great to talk to you. It's even better to see you. Thank you for braving that traffic to come out and see us. And I can't speak for anyone else, but I know that what you are offering is going to be of great benefit to someone who's listening right now.
I pray it meets someone right where they are.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We'll see you next week, right?
You will.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
California Senate has just passed a very important bill as it relates to entertainment. And this bill is going to protect performers from unauthorized AI replicas. And it's going to head over to the governor's desk. We assume Gavin Newsom will sign it. SAG-AFTRA has made it one of its top priorities, and the leadership over at SAG-AFTRA, full disclosure, I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA. They are celebrating this. The bill, AB 2602, would require explicit consent for the use or creation of a digital replica of a performer. And this language in this bill closely mirrors that in the SAG-AFTRA contract. We may remember during that labor stoppage, this was one of the key items that rank and file membership was asking for, fighting for. And from what I read, the bill extends those protections to include other types of performances like video games, audiobooks, commercials, and would encompass non-union work. I think this is a start, but this is not the end. And inevitably, the law will never be able to keep up with technology. And this is what I mean. If you are an established actor, let's say I'll just use Tom Cruise for an example. If you are Tom Cruise, yes, this protects Tom Cruise from someone using his likeness, his voice, anything which may seem like if you look at it, it's like, that seems like Tom Cruise. It protects against that. Some AI replica where you're using Tom Cruise's likeness and you're creating content that would protect Tom Cruise from that. But here's the problem, which has not been addressed, yet we've discussed it. It doesn't preclude, it does not prevent any of these motion picture studios from just using AI and creating characters, creating people, digital just people, if you will, through CGI and putting them into productions and moving out the actor altogether. And I hate it when I agree with Mark Ronner. This is just one of those times where I do, where AI is going to end jobs. That if you've seen, put it this way, let's go. I don't want to give away what was in Alien Romulus, but there is a perfect example in Alien Romulus where a digital representation of a person is used. Now, there is an actual actor, but there's a digital overlay. What I mean is you can do a full person at this point in movies and not use the actor.
Yeah, that's a rough one, isn't it? Because this actor is dead and they got permission from the actor's family. So they were cool with it, but
the technology is there.
If the technology's there, it is guaranteed to be abused. There's just no question about it because that's what always happens.
Well, let's put it this way. It may not be a situation where you're going to use a recognizable actor or actress. It could be you'll just use a completely digital or digitized version of a person and you don't need to hire an actor. They can create the voice, they can create the speech, they can create the dialogue with no help from anybody.
Yeah, it's really depressing. And remember, the people who want this, who are forcing it on us, normal people don't want this. It's a small group of people who stand to profit from it by not paying real human beings. Always keep that in mind.
But part of that is these are companies, these are businesses, and if they can decrease the bottom line, they're going to go ahead and take that opportunity. If they can make that $250 million movie for, $170 million, they're going to take that because ultimately, if that movie makes $250 million, they have an extra $30 million of profit.
Yeah, this is why we have regulations, because corporations don't have any moral sense or any sense of the public good. And if they do, sometimes it's a bonus.
Well, if they don't have, no, not if, since we both know that they don't have any altruism, there is no moral component to making money, then you have to assume then that in the way that we've seen automation in supermarkets, that we've seen in fast food, the digital equivalent of automation is coming to the motion picture industry. It's already here in many respects, but I don't understand why they don't understand. I don't understand why we're not having the conversation about how actors won't be used at all in the near future.
I mean, I remember a number of years ago when people rightly lost their minds about a commercial with Fred Astaire dancing with a vacuum cleaner.
I remember.
And I thought that was fairly obscene. Did the Astaire family need the money? I have no idea. But think of just how back then we were concerned, and now we've got this hellish technology that's guaranteed to be abused.
Well, we don't even know the limits or the parameters of the technology. I mean, you can do a quick search on any of the search engines, and you can find complete AI movies having no human input, having no real actors. And that's right now, that's some kid in his basement using his high-powered computer. We're not talking about the power and the backing of an actual studio.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been compulsively watching these made-up, phony AI trailers for superhero movies that don't exist. And I think every single thing about them is despicable and evil. But I've been really curious and just watching them. And I actually tried to send a couple of them to a comic book writer friend of mine, and he refused to look at it. And good on him for that. But my curiosity got the better of me. Have you seen these?
I've seen a lot of them because I've gone down the rabbit hole where because I'm amazed at how I want to figure out how they created a lot of these trailers.
Well, what attracted me in the first place is that they have this really cool 50s look. It's sort of like right out of these sci-fi movies of the 50s, like GOG, if you're not familiar.
And that's the one, they did a Star Wars version of that out of the 50s. And I said, how did they do that?
Yeah, Star Wars, Justice League, Batman, Alien, and they all have this really cool retro look. What's weird is that the characters, the AI characters, don't even look the same from one cut to another. But the detail in these is phenomenal. But again, nobody is asking for this. This is a cool oddity. It's a novelty for right now, but it's guaranteed to get out of hand if it's not regulated.
Well, it's going to get out of hand because you have people it could be for genuinely, I'll say, innocent reasons. You can have up and coming filmmakers who want to be able to put out their ideas, and they can use that, and AI would be an inexpensive way to create some of these, I'll say, low-level motion pictures. And I understand that's where a lot of this is going, but you can see the moment that the movie studios embrace it, as in lean into it, you will see, like, for example, remember when the first Toy Story came out and there was some concern about the future of animation? Mm-hmm. They were going to 3D animation. And if you look at the original Toy Story today, it looks very crude. But now it is, they've perfected the technology in a way where you're seeing almost a whole new brand of animation. This is what I think is going to have with this, these AI movies, where you're going to see a whole new industry of this type of movie making, and you won't be able to stop it.
You may be right about not being able to completely stop it, but I think a lot of people who love movies are just going to refuse to go to this stuff.
We'll see, because there is a human component. You can have a completely AI movie, but you can have an underlying script which was written by a human, which could make it passable. That's why I make the comparison to animation, where, yes, you're using real actors in animation, but the visual component doesn't have to be real.
It's tough, too, because putting a movie together, putting a comic book together, any of that stuff takes a lot of time, effort, and money. I mean, producers, it's not just an honorary title. They do a lot of work getting the fundraising going. And these things are very painstaking to put together, and they take a long time. So let's say you're just starting out in the business and you don't have any money and you're supplied with that kind of cheap shortcut. I can imagine how you'd wrestle with not taking that.
I think the real litmus test will be when there is a legitimate studio who tries to put out a quote-unquote legitimate movie, and it will be up to us to either accept or reject it. And I think that will greatly influence where we go from there. But if we buy in, literally buy in, there's no turning back.
Looking into our dystopian future, I'm going to come down on the side of human beings on this one. You okay with that?
You mean like believing or rooting for us? Because I believe that human nature, I think we're always going to trend towards evil.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
We don't have time for that.
Oh, look at the time.
Yeah, seriously.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And I don't know, I've been to Joshua Tree maybe once or twice. It was both times it was 2 times for 4-H. It was part of a camping project. So we camped out at Joshua Tree. It was fine from when I was 14 years old. Never again. But, you know, I've been to Joshua Tree, so I have a point of reference. But parts of Joshua Tree National Park have been closed due to not one, but multiple swarms of bees. And in fact, they had to announce it on social media, and they were letting people know that it wasn't safe to go to Joshua Tree because the bees were everywhere. Now, I have to let people know all the time. If I know that you're overrun by bees, then I will not be going there. So I'm glad that it's at least over there at Joshua Tree and not over here at KFI. Because if I knew that parts of whatever place were closed down, it means I'll never go there again.
How serious is this phobia?
It's absolutely real. It's not an act in any way.
Really?
Oh, it really is. And I say this every time, and people never believe me. If there was a bee in this studio, and it's keeping me, if it's between me and the door, I will kill everyone in the studio to get out.
Where's this come from? Were you traumatized as a child?
I think it started in the early 1970s. I had this fixation and fear about the killer bees coming to America.
That was a thing for a while.
That was the thing. And if you're not old enough to remember, they were talking about the bees coming as if it was going to be a plague. I mean, it was something that was really hyped up, and they were supposed to get here, I think, in 1990, according to the original estimates of their migration pattern.
Yeah, they really taunted us with that. They terrified us with that. Now, does your fear of bees extend to, say, if you met the bee girl from the Blind Melon video, you would kill her on the spot?
If the bee was in the way of me getting out, yeah.
No, the bee girl. Little girl in a bee costume.
No, if it's a real bee, everybody dies.
Okay.
Okay? I can't be more clear.
Okay. All right. Clarification received. Thank you.
So just know, I don't care if it's a honeybee. I don't care if it's a yellow jacket. I don't care if it's a bumblebee. I don't care if it's a carpenter bee.
Carpenter bees are cool.
They're big and they're scary. I'm not even sure they have a stinger, but.
And they're blind. They can't even see you.
That makes it even worse. They may bump into me.
You'll be fine.
No, I will not be fine. And yes, I've been stung before. So this is not abstract for me. It's real. Anyhow, they closed down Joshua Tree and they think the closures will reduce the water available to the bees and give them some time to find other sources outside the park. It's not clear when the closed areas may reopen, but all it means to me is I will never go to Joshua Tree again.
What are you talking about? Ever. Look, this is not a plague of bees.
Ever.
This isn't a zombie of bees. You'll be fine.
Nope.
Look, okay, have you at least warmed up to the idea of us going to visit the... I haven't even finished what I was going to say.
You're talking about going to like a beekeeper. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I am not getting in one of those beekeeper outfits and going out and pulling up a honeycomb and scraping off honey.
Yes.
No.
Fresh, raw honey?
Because one of those bees may get inside the suit and I have to kill everyone.
They don't get inside the suit.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Can you guarantee that?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Well, let me put it this way. I'm not going to Gilbert, Arizona either because a valley landscaper supposedly is lucky to be alive. I don't know if it's luck, but a killer bee attack. Killer bees. Okay. We were just talking about them in Arizona, the next state over. They're almost here. It happened back on August 21st. This guy took the brunt of the bee attack and doctors say he was minutes away from dying.
But wasn't it because he was allergic? No, I guess he wasn't.
Quote, my family was in the backyard, a bunch of kids in a pool. My parents were over and Luis came running in from the back where he was attacked by bees and he was yelling, Michael, 911. It was absolute chaos. According to the story, he was finishing up his landscaping work at the home when the bees attacked, stinging him roughly 300 times all over his body. All over. Yes, there too. And yes, there too.
No.
Yes.
How did they get in there?
They can sting through clothes. The guy he was told to jump in the pool, but that only made it worse. I've heard that before, but how does it make it worse? Do they come in the water?
They do not die instantaneously in the water. And if they're in your clothes, it will cause them to freak out and they will attack. They will instantaneously just start darting in.
But I thought they were stinging you regardless. So
I mean, no. Imagine a 1,000 little stingers in your body and chlorine.
Well, that's true. The gardener ended up in the front yard where he passed out from the pain, but not before he prayed for his life while covered in bees. You're laughing at the plight of this man. While covered in bees, he prayed saying, quote, God, don't let me die like this. This would be the worst way to die. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He stayed in the hospital for 2 days, but he's been since released and is going to get back to work soon. I guess I can't go to Arizona anymore. Arizona's off the list.
Oh,
I got relatives in Arizona. I can't visit them anymore.
Stop it.
Nope. The killer bees are in Arizona, okay? That means by December, they'll be in Silmar. Or, I don't know, Mount San Antonio. Or, Duarte. La Habra.
What? What are we talking about? The bees are not coming for you like that. We have more chance of the Zompok actually taking flight before the killer bees actually get here and do this damage that you think they're going to do.
Okay. The Zompok means the world would be over as we know it.
Yes.
The killer bees getting here means that they will just terrorize us forever.
No, it actually means that we would have greener grass, trees that bloom full. We would have all levels of pollination and fruit growing bountifully. It would be glorious if we could have more bees here in Southern California.
Okay, let me just quote this great philosopher I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Sheev Palpatine. He said, wipe them out. All of them.
That's insane. All the scientists tell us if the bee goes, we're gone. Also, I've got a movie for our next guy night. It's called My Girl from 1991, and I think you're really going to enjoy it.
I think I've barely... Is that like Macaulay Culkin in that?
Yeah.
Anna Chalumsky, and I think it's Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
I'll just say bees figure strongly in it.
Well, they figured strongly in the movie The Swarm, too. Doesn't mean I'm going to watch it.
No, it'll be fun. It's a family movie. You'll like it.
Look, I made the mistake of watching the movie The Swarm when I was a child. Bad idea.
But Beekeeper was good.
Yeah, but the bees really did not play a role in the movie per se. That was just his public cover, his job. But the bees weren't like, it wasn't like Ant-Man where the ants were used to kill the bad guys. This is not
but the
bee.
philosophy of the bees were to protect the hive being us, the people.
Yeah, but the philosophy didn't kill people. Okay, I'm talking about actual bees killing people.
Okay.
Wipe them out. All of them.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We go through all the that's going on so that we can tell you just the you need to know.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.